right, welcome everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. This is Louis George Walker coming to you from KUAW Radio, and this is the BFTAA and More Show. We're so glad that you're able to join with us today. Trying to adjust this voice signal, but I think we've got it right now. How's everybody doing out there? Yes, it's another great day, and the temperature's not as hot as it had been, which is a great thing. I want to get my screen set up so I can see anything that you might put out on Facebook. So I want to set up the chat line and get it open. So that way today, if you want to chat, if you want to send a message to me of any type, we'll be able to accommodate you. Let's see if we got that working. Well, that is, yes, there we are. There we are on both pages. So if you go to the Black Family Technology Awareness page or if the KUAW radio page and leave a message or comment or whatever you want to do, if you type it in, it'll show up on the screen. I can see it here and read it and answer your questions. So as we go forward through this day, be sure and chime in. I'd love to hear from you. So let me know that you're watching, that you're listening, that you're picking us up on all of the airways that we are on. Yes, you can pick us up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, KUAW Radio. Just look for those sites and hit us up. I'm going to be doing a share in just a second. Let's see if we can get us up here live. Yes. So we're working. We're going to be everywhere that you want to be. You'll even be able to pick us up on LinkedIn. Okay, at KUAW Radio. And we'd like for you to like us, to share, like on Twitter, subscribe if you're on Facebook, like us on Twitter, and on YouTube. On YouTube, we want you to subscribe. And on Facebook, Twitter, just like, click on it, repost, whatever you're doing, just let us get the hits. We would appreciate that, but we're just glad that you're listening, that you're picking us up. So if it's one or two of you, or if it's 100 or 1,000, we're glad that you are online with us today. This is the KUAW radio station. That's right, we're broadcasting live from the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. And I am your host, Louis George Walker, and I'm so glad to be here with you. Now, you can also listen to us on the audio-only side, so if you're in your car, if you're driving, if you've got a radio that's equipped with Bluetooth or you got your cell phone, all of that, just go to any one of your sites and search KUAW. We're on TuneIn. We're on the TuneIn app. We're on Get Me Radio. We're on Roku. We're on Apple TV. We're on Online Radio Bot and mytuner.com. So any of those sites, if you just go in and you type in KUAW, you can pick us up. And so you can hear us on the audio side. You can listen to us as you drive in your car, or you can pick us up on the video side. Whenever we're live like you're looking at us now, if you happen to be on Facebook or YouTube, or tell your friends about it, and we're there. So we're just glad to be here, and we're glad to be a part of what's going on. Now, some of the things I want to let you know about. Now, next week is Labor Day. We won't be doing a live show. I'm going to try and have something recorded that will be playing at that time, or one of my past shows that'll be playing. But we won't be here. Matter of fact, we're going to be gone for the whole weekend. There'll be no radio broadcast, no live radio broadcast that'll be going on over the weekend. So we just want to let you know that. Also, I've been playing some best of and last shows of Warren Ballentine. Warren Ballentine will be not on this radio station starting Labor Day, or the week of Labor Day. I think that's September the 3rd or 4th. And we've had a great run with Warren. He was a very interesting talk show host, so we were glad to have him. But we're going to change formats there at that 10 o'clock hour, 10 to noon, and we'll come up with another show that we'll be running at that time that will replace Warren Ballentine. But we thank you. He's around with KUAW. I happened to get to meet him when we were both working with Cheryl Underwood on the Cheryl Underwood show, which we had and broadcast here for about 4 years anyway. So there's a lot of shows that have come, and that's the way radio is. Some shows come, and Warren may be back at some time. You never know. Same way with Cheryl. They may be back, but we're going to be moving on and doing some other things. We have some great news of I had a meeting last week, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag until it's here, but there's some big things getting ready to happen for KUAW Radio right here in Kansas City, and they're going to be happening shortly. So we want you to keep listening. We'll have an announcement. We'll bring it to you and let you know what KUAW will be expanding into. So that's something new that's going to be happening, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's hard to just hold it in right now, but keep listening, and there's going to be a break of some new news and things, some expansion that is going to happen for KUAW Radio that'll be showing up very soon, very soon. So stay tuned, listen, and be one of the first to know of what KUAW will be doing in the near future. So we're rolling along here. This is getting near the end of August as we go into the week. There's some Black History moments that we'll be bringing to you a little bit from time to time throughout this show. One of the things I want to remind you of is on August the 28th, which was the day in 2008, Barack Obama accepted the Democratic nomination for president, making history as the first African-American major party presidential candidate. And we all know how that ended up. But in August the 28th of 2008, Barack Obama threw his hat in the ring and said he would accept the nomination for president from the Democratic Party. So that was big news then, and it's still big news. We had a great president, so that you have a dichotomy. You can see the difference between great and not so great presidents. But with Barack Obama, we had a great president that worked tirelessly for the people. So we really appreciate it. That happened, what would that be, 28, about 20 years ago? No, not quite 20 years ago, about 13, 14 years ago. All right. So going on with the news, and this will be happening this week coming up on August the 30th in 1938, the first African-American magazine, Mirror of Freedom, begins publication in New York City. Yeah, I bet you a lot of you thought the first African-American magazine was Ebony and Jet, Johnson Publications, but the first magazine, the first African-American magazine, Mirror of Freedom, was started August the 30th of 1938. Good news, though, and we were glad for that. We're definitely glad that the Johnson Publications had Ebony and Jet that ran for so many years, and it was a great thing, a great outlet. Something that we really need back is something like the Ebony's, the Jet magazines, to give you like news, information, entertainment. They had everything in them, but people have gotten away from reading, subscribing to magazines and newspapers, or even buying them on the store. But that was really a way of getting some news back in the day and just keeping up on the entertainment side and things that were happening. So hats off to them. Also on this day in 1963, August the 28th, Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech at the March on Washington. So that was happening in 1963. That was a fantastic. Over 250,000 people showed up for the march. There were no major incidents. Nobody tore up anything. There were a lot of speakers. Martin Luther King was really not the top speaker on there. He was the young upstart, but that's where he came and really got nationwide attention, was with the I Have a Dream speech that he gave then on August the 28th at the Lincoln Monument. So that's a little bit of the history that we have for you right now. Now, from that, we want to go into a couple of other things that we have, and we usually give you around this time what's going on at NASA. One of the things that we'll bring in first is going to be space to ground. So this is going to be what's happening at NASA as far as the space station. So let's get ready to check out Space to Ground, some of the things coming from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, where a lot of our research and development goes on, where the hidden figures work, where a lot of history has been made, and we have been a part of that history that was made there. So let's look at Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Shaniqua Vereen. It has been another busy week on the ground and on the space station. On Sunday, August 20th, the uncrewed Roscosmos Progress 83 cargo spacecraft undocked from the International Space Station's Svesta service module. 2 days later, on Tuesday, August 22nd, the Progress 85 vehicle lifted off atop a Soyuz rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. The spacecraft docked to the station just 2 days later, before the launch of NASA's SpaceX Crew 7.
Space to ground.
NASA astronaut Jasmine Moghbeli, ESA astronaut Andreas Mogensen, JAXA astronaut Satoshi Furukawa, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Konstantin Borisov are set to launch aboard the SpaceX Crew Dragon Endurance from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. You can follow the mission of Crew 7 on nasa.gov or the NASA app. In late September, Mogensen will take command of the space station, the sixth European to do so. Before his flight, Andreas gave us a short lesson about his mission and mythology.
My ESA mission is named Hugin, which derives from the name of one of the ravens of the old Nordic god Odin. The story is that Odin had two ravens, Hugin and Munin, where Hugin represents thought and knowledge, and Munin represents tradition and memory. And every morning, Odin would send his two ravens out into the world to gather information. And they would fly around the world and return to Odin in the evenings and share what they had found during the day with him. And that was the way Odin gathered information about the state of the world. And I think that's a very good symbol of the role that we astronauts play. We travel out into space to gather knowledge, to expand our understanding of our world and the universe, and return that knowledge to the Earth, to humanity, for the benefit of us all.
And that's Space to Ground for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right. That was Space to Ground. You learned a little bit of history, or mythology anyway, because I don't know that there was really an Odin, but you learned some mythology and saw a little bit of what's going on out there in space. Space is becoming a place that's getting traveled to quite a bit now, quite a bit. So it's getting shorter and shorter, the distance from here to the moon, and the fact that people are getting used to space launches. It's not a big thing. When I was going to school back in the early days, they would stop class to watch a space launch. They had us all gather around the old black and white television so that we could watch each space launch from Cape Canaveral as the time it went up, and we'd mark on our globes in the room as the each revolution that the astronauts made around the Earth. It was just important for them to go around 7 times, 8 times. That was a lot. And now people are going back and forth. They're staying in space for months at a time and stuff. And when I was a kid, when I was in grade school, they only stayed up in space for a few hours and came back, but it was real exciting even then. So keep watching that type of stuff and get your kids into watching some of this history, and some of this has been made. They might be interested in rocketry. They may be interested in being an astronaut or being a technological person and working on some things that could help mankind in the future as we go back to the moon, as we go beyond, as we continue to explore and to stretch out. We need to make sure that our young people are involved in it, that our young people are watching, are learning, and being a part of all that is going on in that. So let's go from that now to This Week at NASA. and let's see what's happening on the NASA side of everything. Not on the NASA side, because both of these are NASA, but this isn't just dealing with the space station. So let's check it out this week in NASA.
Our Webb Space Telescope captures a cosmic ring, the team behind our upcoming Psyche mission, and the unique thing about a star that was ripped apart by a black hole. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. Our James Webb Space Telescope has observed the Ring Nebula in unprecedented detail. Formed by a dying star throwing off its outer layers as it runs out of fuel, the Ring Nebula is one of the best-known examples of a planetary nebula. It is relatively close to Earth at roughly 2,200 light-years away. Our Psyche spacecraft is targeted for launch no earlier than October 5th to a metal-rich asteroid also named Psyche. A new video series called Behind the Spacecraft highlights several members of the Psyche team and their contributions to the mission. The videos are being released on several of our Jet Propulsion Laboratory's social media platforms. The mission could help answer fundamental questions about how rocky planets like Earth formed and about the formation of our solar system. Astronomers used our Chandra X-ray Observatory and ESA's XMM Newton to study material believed to be from a star that was ripped apart by a giant black hole, an event being called Assassin 14Li. The relative amount of nitrogen to carbon astronomers found indicates that the material weighs about 3 times the mass of our Sun, which would make the star in Assassin 14Li one of the most massive ever seen ripped apart by a black hole to date. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope team has begun integrating and testing the spacecraft's harness, the electrical cabling that functions as the telescope's nervous system. The harness provides power and commands to Roman's instruments, enables different parts of the telescope to communicate with one another, and helps the central computer monitor the telescope's functions. Roman will survey billions of cosmic objects and help untangle mysteries like dark energy following its launch by May 2027. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
All right. Yes, that's some of the things that are going on this week at NASA and Space to Ground at NASA. Really great. And if you want to get involved or have your children get involved in some science activities they can do at home, go to that nasa.gov site and look up the educational section for children, all ages. They've got programs and different things you can download or experiments that you can do for all age groups right at nasa.gov. So don't hesitate. Go there. Use some of the things that are there to give our kids some extra enrichment. And for those of you that are homeschoolers, if you're homeschooling, going to NASA would be another place to find a lot of science information that would be beneficial to your students. So check it out. You know, this is the government providing this information for us. And a lot of times we don't take advantage of some stuff that, you know, your tax dollars are at work making things and distributing things, but sometimes we don't reach out and take them. So check out nasa.gov if you can. Now, as you all know, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, which is the parent or the umbrella organization over KUAW Radio and a partner of the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and as such, we sometimes get involved in a lot of different programs from corporates, from community, from government, because they're looking for nonprofits that are working in the community, and they want them to be a part, or they want us to do the things that we do with the community that we work in, because they know we know more about how to work or the needs of our community than anybody else or somebody coming from the outside where you're already known. So in that light, one of the things that we've just got involved in and that's available to all 501c3s, and if you're a 501c3 and you're watching this, or if you know someone that has a 501c3, I want you to tell them to get in touch. There's some programs out there. I was trying to see if I can bring it up. Yeah, here it is. Microsoft. Microsoft has a nonprofit tech acceleration. They call it the NTA program, Nonprofit Tech Acceleration for Black and African American communities. So if your organization serves the African community or Black or African American community, you can get in and join the Nonprofit Tech Acceleration. It's NTA for short, and this is for Black and African American communities from Microsoft. BFTAA, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, has just become a part of this group. We are just now in that. Being that is that we will be able to work with Microsoft and use a lot of the technologies that they have developed in the cloud, in software, and with some of their community partners, that we will be able to do and reach more people in the community. And if you're a nonprofit and you have technology needs or technology hurdles that you need to climb or get over, you might want to get in touch with this. We've got a program inside of this NTA program. They have people that will help you learn to use a lot of the different products that are out there, you know, so that the tools and the services that Microsoft has, they won't just dump them on you and you use them or you don't. You'll be able to use them and learn how to use them. That comes from like getting Microsoft 365 or Office 365 that you can use. You get 10 free licenses for those products. That way people in your organization, you all can have some of the latest tools for communicating, Microsoft's Teams and some of their software thing, Word and all of those programs that are out there. So that's something that we want to get involved in. So it's the NTA program, Network Technology Accelerator. So you want to get involved with that, or the Nonprofit Technology Accelerator from Microsoft. So be sure and get in touch. If you want some more information on this, let's see, where can you go to? See if they have that. Okay, you can contact me, and I will look it up. I don't see it right on the information that I'm looking at right now, but it is the Microsoft Nonprofit Tech Acceleration for Black and African American Communities. NTA is the name it goes under, NTA. And if you go there, you can get the information that you need. Or you can get in touch with me. I'll look up some of my past emails. But if you are a nonprofit, or if you know somebody that is a nonprofit and they could use some of the latest software and equipment and be able to go in for grants from Microsoft, all of that, they need to get into this program. They need to sign up. It doesn't cost anything. It's absolutely free. You don't have to be involved in technology. You may be doing, your nonprofit may be doing healthcare. It may be doing literacy. It could be doing a lot of things, but does your office need some of the new software? Does your website need the use of some of this software and some of the things that are available? Can you use new collaboration software to work with all the people in your group? So it's not just for techies. It's not for groups that are involved in technology. It's for nonprofits in the African American community. So be sure and reach out to Microsoft for that, or you can contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, or KUAW Radio. I just don't have that email, and I may look it up in a minute. I'll have to have y'all watch something or listen to something, and I can pull that up so that you can go to the website. Let me see if I can get that up right now. Okay. Microsoft for nonprofits. Let's see if this is the same one. I may have to get you the special Special. Ah, here we go. I think this is it. All right. Yes. This is the one you want to go to that you can see about getting involved into. It is Microsoft.com EN-US nonprofits, technology, resources, black nonprofits. So I did a search on it, and what you want to search on to get to this is supporting black community nonprofits, Microsoft nonprofits. So if you put that in, it should come up with, because it's the URL that I have is pretty long and would be hard, but supporting black community nonprofits. Put that into your search engine, and you should see the one from Microsoft at Microsoft.com, and it'll come up. If you do have trouble finding it, please contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We will get you the link to this site, because there are some great things, some nonprofit software grants and discounts. You can also collaborate with other nonprofits. You get 10 free Microsoft 365 Business Premium licenses and discounted Dynamics 365 Sales Enterprises license. They got a lot of things, and you can get some personalized technical consulting. So you can talk with some people about how you use some of this technology, how your organization or your group can be more technology literate. So you want to check this out. Please don't let this opportunity go by. As I say, you can contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. You can put a note on Facebook right now on KUAW Radio, and I'll be glad to follow back up with you on that. But that's something that we want to be able to take a look at. There was a group here in Kansas City, the United Neighborhood Initiative, I think that's it, UNI. They had an event that was down at the Keystone Room of Goodwill, and the Microsoft had brought in some people from, well, some local people and some people from out of town to talk about this program. So we should definitely be working with Microsoft if you haven't been, and if you are working with them already, then you need to see about this program, because I asked a question while I was in there, and they partner with TechSoup, but you can go direct to the source and work with Microsoft if you get into this program. So there's grants, software grants available. There's a lot of things that you'll be able to get and use to help your nonprofit right there. So be sure and get involved with them or look them up. Now let's see, what was the next thing I did want to talk to you about? Oh, this day, as we talk about some of the things going on in Black history, this was really a sad day in Black history, August the 28th. We talked about Barack Obama being the first African American to take the nomination for president of one of the main parties, the Democratic Party, and to go on to become the first African American president of the United States. Well, also on August 28th, in 1955, that's August 28th, 1955, 14-year-old Emmett Till was brutally murdered by a group of white men. His death became one of the major incidents that fueled the civil rights movements, as well as one of the most important stories in U.S. history. So, if you saw the movie Till, and if you haven't saw the movie Till, or if you've heard about it, this day in 1955, this young 14-year-old boy was brutally murdered, was beaten, was killed, body was thrown into a river wrapped in barbed wire, just horrendously treated and killed. And that was one of the things that helped spark the modern civil rights movement. We've always been having one, but that was another thing that got people really wanting to push for this equality, that things were just out of hand and anything could happen. And the people that killed Emmett Till were acquitted of his murder in trial. Yes, they found out who it was. They had a trial and they were acquitted. They did not serve a day for his murder. And on a lighter note, tomorrow, August the 29th, will be the birthday of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was born August the 29th of 1958. So the Jackson 5, and then as a single artist, was really one of a big catalyst for music in the 80s and the 90s. Was born in 1958 on August 29th. So tomorrow we want to say happy birthday, Michael Jackson, Thriller, and all of that. so that was a thing that kind of lifted up just a little bit. We don't want everything to be down. But don't forget about that software program. Another thing that is going on, over the weekend we had another mass shooting where 3 people were killed by a racist white national. Well, I won't know if he's a nationalist, but he had swastikas on his gun. So I would say a nationalist, a white supremacist, killed 3 people down in Florida yesterday at a Dollar General store. One lady was sitting in her car outside, shot and killed her, and then killed 2 more guys inside. Let some people go out, but he killed 2 men. So did he have a thing against men? He shot the lady that was sitting in her car on the outside. So don't know, but it was another tragedy in the state of Florida where the hatred, and he had this hatred for black people that he went down to the store to kill black people. That was his sole motivation. That's been a thing that's happened in this country. A lot of times people say they are scared of us, but then who do we kill in mass murders and go in and just shoot people up? It's a lot of times where we are the victims of that hatred, and that was racist hatred. It wasn't that he was just crazy or that he was just some rampage. No, he had a specific target that he was after, and he went out and murdered people, massacred people. That's just terrible. That's the thing that we have going on in this country that should not be happening, that we should find a way to stop it. But I mean, as long as this country keeps fighting among ourselves as to who we are and what kind of country this is, we're going to have these problems because people have so much hatred for people that they don't even know, that haven't done a thing to them, but they feel threatened by. And a lot of that comes from a lot of the talk that goes on, the taking the books out that wokeism is about taking away something from somebody. Learning about our history does not take anything away from anybody else's history. The more knowledge is better. We don't want to hide knowledge from people. We don't want people not to know. Then that is ignorance. To not know is ignorance. So we don't want to walk around ignorant of our history. We want to know our history. We have to face our history, as one politician or man had said, warts and all. He wanted his picture painted, and they said, well, we can kind of airbrush this out and you won't look as bad. He said, no, paint me warts and all. So you see the real thing. We should look at American history, warts and all, so that we know it. Not to make you feel guilty. The truth will set you free. So we should know the truth. And if you know the truth, then you're a leg up. Nobody can hold that against you. The only thing that they can throw against that would be a lie. But when you're living in lies, then lies are all around you, and you can't separate that. So we have to look at the way we as Americans are living. Black, white, red, yellow, brown, all of us. All of us have a history. All of us have some good and some bad. All of us are humans. And we've got to start looking at that and respecting everybody's humanity. Respecting everybody's humanity. Nobody has the right to live more than another person. That's just the way it is. So one thing we have to do is talk to each other, listen to each other, and show some compassion, empathize where you can, but listen. At least hear where somebody is coming from. Not shouting, not yelling. Let's have these discussions. Let's talk about the uncomfortable things. Let's talk about the real truth. Let's not sugarcoat it, but we don't have to beat anybody over the head with it. So we need to get this together because there's people dying, innocent people dying, and that should not be happening. That's just something that we can't have in this country. And it can't have it really anywhere in the world, and there are so many innocent people dying the world over. So, we want to make sure that we we need to investigate, we need to look at some of the reasons and what's causing this hatred so that we can start working to alleviate it. What's driving people to it? Is it all the talk that's going on? Is it about book banning? Is it about Democrats and Republicans? Is it about white and black? What is it that really has everybody so upset? People that aren't hurt are mad. People that have a good living and all the necessities of life are mad. People that are broken poor are mad. It's like so many of us are running around here mad. It's just as the whole country just wants to be mad about something. And there's too much to be living for, too much to be happy about, too much joy that should be in each and every one of us, that we shouldn't spend that time walking around mad with each other. But that's, that's people for you. But yeah, this is the Black Family Technology Awareness show. We like to show a little bit about what's going on in technology. We also want to let you know that we're looking for volunteers. The Black Family Technology Awareness Association has robotics, we have drones, we have basic computer training for adults. We have a lot of things going on, but we can't do it without volunteers. This is a volunteer organization. Nobody gets paid for what we do, but it's out of the kindness of people's heart that volunteer at this organization. And right now we're in need of a lot of volunteers to help us out. So if you have any expertise, or if you want to learn about computers or learn about robotics and working with kids, if you're a student teacher, if you're learning, you want to learn how to work with kids on science and technology, hey, we've got a spot for you. You can volunteer. We have openings to work on Saturday from 12 to 2, or from 12:30 to 2. Somewhere in there, between 12 and 2:30, you'll be out of here. Or 12:30 and 2:30, you'll be out of here. But a couple of hours, that's what we're looking for. We need a couple of hours from you, one day a week. So if you can volunteer a couple of hours, one day a week, we'd be glad to have you on our team. We need to hear from you. We'd love to talk to you about it. Also, if you're a parent, want you to know that our robotics programs have started up in the Lego. We already have kids coming in doing Legos from 12:30 to 2 o'clock every Saturday. We're going to be doing VEX right after Labor Day, the Saturday after Labor Day. I think August the 9th, we'll be starting with the middle school and high school students in our VEX robotics program. So if you'd like to get involved with our robotics program and work with the young people with the robots, get in touch with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. You can give me a call at 816-805-0406. You can email us, or you can go to our website, BFTAA.org. And you can go there and you can sign up. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that page up for you right quick and show you what we've got. You see. That's not what we want there. Let's see, we'll get this up. Show you what our page is like. Let's see if it can pick this up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want right here. All right, all right. So if you go to the BFTAA page, and this is it, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association of Kansas City, and I'll see if I can scroll down on this, or up, or I need to get the picture, the rest of the page. We have our Youth Technology Fair, but there are ways that you can sign up. Well, this is not good. It's not letting me scroll. Let's see. Let me try the arrows here. The arrow. Well, it says I can interact, but then it doesn't want to let me interact. Okay, I can do the calendar. Look at our media. About the Black Family Tech. But this is our home page. BFTAA, Black Family Technology Awareness Association of Kansas City. Farther down, and I can't scroll to it, but where you see is the 16th Annual Youth STEM Fair. If you scroll down from there, there's a link that you can sign up to be a volunteer or to enroll your child. There's two links down there. One is if you want to volunteer, and the other is if you want to enroll your child in the Black Family Technology Awareness programs. And even though it says I can interact with the page right now, it is not letting me do what I would like to do, and that is to scroll up and down on this page. So, oh well, that's something about OBS. We'll have to work with them out and see if there's a page down. None of the buttons are affecting it. All right. Well, we tried to give it to you. Anyway, that is the homepage of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, www.bftaa.org. You can go there and you can enroll your child in one of our technology programs. You can enroll yourself when we offer a adult program. And there's another link that if you would like to be a volunteer, you can sign up. You click on that link, it opens up a form, and you fill out the form, and we'll get in touch with you because we're right now looking for more volunteers. We need volunteers as desperately. So if you'd like to volunteer with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, be sure and check us out. Let us know, and we will get in touch with you. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. It's been great having you here. This is BFTAA and more. I'm on every Monday except holidays, so we will not be here next Monday. There may be a recorded show, but you won't be able to interact with it. But we will be back after that. But next week is Labor Day weekend. I hope you enjoy the weekend, do a little picnicking, get together with family. Remember that it is Labor Day, that we do owe to the organized labor around the world, and especially right here in the United States, for the benefits that they have worked and made for the working man, the blue-collar workers, and others in this country. I mean, the labor organizations, labor unions, are one reason you have a 40-hour work week. That was not around before the unions come in. It's one reason why you get paid time and a half for overtime, where you're able to make a living wage and support a family. So there's a lot of good that comes out of labor unions. You know, some people like to look at the labor unions that haven't been so good, but they're good and bad corporations. They're good and bad labor unions, but on the whole, the labor unions in America have done a fantastic job improving the well-being, the livelihoods of working people in the United States. So think about that on Labor Day, is why you're getting that day off. All right, this is the BFTAA and More Show. I am your host, Louis George Walker. Glad that you were able to join with us today. Be sure and come back again. Glad to have you. Like us, share us on Facebook and YouTube. Also, leave us a note on Facebook. Tell us how you like the show or not. We'll be glad to hear from you. Thank you for joining, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks now. Have a great week and a good Labor Day. Bye.